The coins were already warm from your pocket. That counter smelled like sugar and something slightly chemical. Wax, maybe, or the cardboard of 100 open boxes. You had 75 cents. There were 47 options. The kid behind you was waiting. Whatever you picked in the next 30 seconds was going to say something about you. Stay with me through number 1. That's where the real story lives.
Candy cigarettes. That white paper tube was so convincing you almost felt grown. The chalky stick tasted like sweetened dust, faintly minty, gone in 4 bites. But that wasn't the point. That red and white box sat in the wire rack at eye level, and you picked it up the same way you'd seen adults reach for the real thing. You didn't buy candy cigarettes because they tasted good. You bought them because of what happened when you pulled one out on the playground. Other kids watched. You decided who got one. The next item never let you forget your budget. Fun Dip. That flat white candy stick was supposedly just the delivery system. Nobody believed that. You licked it, dragged it through the neon powder pouch, and pulled it back out coated in something that turned your tongue a color your mother would ask about later. The pouches spun in a rack near the register, 30 cents each. Here's what most people never knew. Fun Dip's stick was originally called a Lick-O-Maid, sold without the powder at all. Whoever added the dipping turned a forgettable product into a ritual, and rituals are harder to walk away from than candy ever was. Starburst.
Starburst fruit juice, a burst of refreshing fruit flavor for you.
That waxy little square unwrapped differently depending on the flavor. Your fingers knew which one before you looked. Pink was the one everybody wanted. Yellow was what you gave away. And the giving told people exactly where they stood with you. The 4-pack came in that bright yellow box near the register. The trade economy around Starburst was its own language. 2 yellows for 1 pink, and even then somebody argued the rate. What you pocketed without offering was a full character assessment that no report card ever captured. Nerds. That box rattled before you even opened it. 2 compartments, 2 flavors, that bright Wonka purple and pink packaging, small enough to hide in a closed fist. Nerds launched in 1983, and within 2 years they were in every corner store in America. The tiny clusters dissolved fast and sharp, sourness hitting before the sweet did. What made Nerds social wasn't trading them. You couldn't trade a nerd. It was the box itself. Handing someone your Nerds box meant something. It was an invitation. The next candy turned that kind of invitation into something you had to earn. Candy necklaces. That elastic string smelled faintly of rubber, and the little pastel discs tasted chalky, faintly fruity, mostly just sweet. You didn't buy a candy necklace for the flavor. You bought it because wearing your candy was a fundamentally different statement than carrying it. It hung around your neck. People had to come close to get any. The necklaces sat tangled in a bin near the register, 25 cents each. Some kids offered pieces freely. The kid who wore one and never offered a single piece was sending a message, and everyone received it. Ring pops.
You can wear a ring around your finger, ring pop. It's a juicy jewel flavor, ring pop. It's a lollipop without a stick.
That plastic ring was too big for every finger except your thumb, and the jewel on top was roughly the size of a small plum. Translucent, fruit-flavored, wearable. Strawberry, watermelon, blue raspberry, cherry. The wrapper peeled back like a crown being revealed. Ring pops sat in an open bin near the register, 35 cents, built around one simple idea. Candy you could display. You didn't eat a ring pop quietly. A girl named Donna once offered hers to the boys she liked during recess, and the entire 4th grade treated it as an official declaration. Pixy Stix. That paper straw held flavored sugar and nothing else. No structure, no pretense. You tilted your head back and poured, and the powder hit your tongue in a rush that made your eyes water slightly. The giant ones, nearly as long as your forearm in that clear plastic tube, were a different category entirely. The kid who handed you a giant Pixy Stix wasn't offering candy, Most people don't know Pixy Stix started as a drink mix in the 1950s. Kids kept eating the powder straight until the company stopped fighting it. Sometimes the customers know better.
Jawbreakers. That sphere was too big for your mouth and you put it in anyway. The outside layer was hard enough to chip a filling, and the colors shifted as you worked through them, red to orange to yellow to white, each layer a different flavor, each one slightly softer than the last. Jawbreakers lived in a glass jar on the counter. A penny for the small ones, a nickel for the ones the size of a golf ball. You didn't eat a Jawbreaker, you committed to it. That patience, or the lack of it, said everything. Before we get to the top 7, drop your answer in the comments right now. Which candy was your corner store staple, and what did you trade it for? And here's the one I really want to know. Tell me the one candy you refuse to trade, no matter what, the one that stayed in your pocket. These videos take a lot of work to put together. If you're getting something out of this, subscribe. It means more than you know.
Big League Chew.
Big Chew, fan-sized wads of great taste and shredded bubble gum stuffed into a giant Stay Fresh pouch.
You're in the big leagues.
Big League flavor and Big League bubble.
That pouch was pink and faded at the edges, and the shredded gum inside smelled like artificial grape before you even opened the foil. You pulled out a wad, always too much, and stuffed it in your cheek the way you'd seen outfielders do it on Saturday afternoon games. Big League Chew launched in 1980, invented by a minor league pitcher named Rob Nelson, who wanted kids something to stuff in their cheeks that wasn't tobacco. What separated it from everything else on this list was the gesture. You didn't just buy it, you performed it. Now and later. That wrapper was waxy, the pieces flat and hard enough that your back teeth did the real work. The flavor came in slow, a steady release that built over 30 seconds of actual effort. Now and later came in a flat pack of 8 pieces for a quarter, stacked on the counter. The name was the whole philosophy, except nobody saved any. The social move was the offer, pulling out that flat pack and holding it out without saying a word. A kid named Gary once handed back a single piece. The look lasted longer than the flavor did. Pop Rocks.
Hey, what's happening?
The crackling's what's happening!
Pop Rocks says bang to the bite!
Pop Rocks! The sizzle makes you giggle!
Pop Rocks!
That small packet crinkled when you pressed it, and the rocks inside shifted like gravel. You poured them on your tongue and waited, tiny detonations that weren't pain and weren't quite pleasure, somewhere in between. Here's what most people never knew. Pop Rocks were pressurized with carbon dioxide, the same gas in soda, and they were never dangerous. The urban legend that said otherwise spread anyway, because people wanted it to be true. Pop Rocks didn't need to be dangerous to feel like a dare. They just needed everyone to believe they might be.
SweeTarts. That chalky disc hit your tongue with sourness first, then flipped to sweet in the back half, a 2-act flavor that took 4 seconds total. SweeTarts came in a roll with that white and pink wrapper, the shape and size of a roll of quarters sitting in a box near the register. The trade value was never about the candy itself. Handing someone a SweeTart was casual. Handing someone the whole roll was a statement about trust. The ones who took 2 without asking were the same ones you stopped lending things to, and you already knew who they were. Runts. That banana-shaped piece was the one nobody wanted and everybody complained about, and yet the box kept including it. Runts came in a small cardboard box with a flip-top lid, bright primary colors outside, fruit-shaped pieces in 5 flavors inside. Strawberry was the prize, banana was the tax. What made Runts a social object was the sorting. You organized them by value before anyone else could see the breakdown, then decided what to reveal. The kid who dumped the whole box on the lunch table without looking was making an announcement. Not everyone got it right away.
Laffy Taffy. That wrapper was thin and waxy, and the taffy inside stretched to roughly twice the length of your forearm before it snapped, always faster than you expected. The joke on the wrapper was part of the transaction. You read it out loud whether it was funny or not, and the reaction told you who was paying attention. Laffy Taffy came in banana, strawberry, grape and cherry. The banana ones were improbably the most requested. The stretching was the spectacle. Some kids used it as an invitation. Some used it to keep people at arm's length, literally.
Bubble Yum?
Is bubblegum soft to chew?
Really soft and juicy, too.
That pink block was soft in a way no gum had been before. Not the brittle snap of Bazooka, not the chalky resistance of Double Bubble. Bubble Yum landed in 1975, and by the early 80s, it was everywhere. Then the rumor started. Spider eggs. Someone said Bubble Yum was so soft because of spider eggs, and that story traveled faster than any commercial ever could. The company took out full-page newspaper ads to deny it, a real PR crisis over playground gossip nobody could trace. On that playground, knowing things was the longest-lasting currency of all.
It was never really about the candy. It was about what you chose, what you protected, and what you were willing to hand over. Drop your corner store staple in the comments and tell me the one you never traded, not once. Subscribe for new nostalgia every week. We've got a lot more to remember.